Hi everyone, you are welcome to this very program. Today we are going to review what happened during the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judgment. It is a pathetic situation that needs review to understand what happened and what transpired. Before we continue, we ask you to subscribe, share, like, and also leave your comment. At the same time, we use the opportunity to thank our subscribers and the new subscribers for subscribing to this channel. Thank you very much. Indeed, there is a lingering question which says, are politicians, executives, and the judiciary blending criminality with hypnosis and voodoo in Nigerian political structure against helpless citizens? The event that took place on 6th September 2023 appeared to be surprising to all, not only on the way of delivering the judgment, but the event that took place in the courtroom. Men looking at what happened, no wise Nigerian, African, and the world at large who understand the level of corruptions in Nigeria that would be surprised of the judgment delivered by the 5 justices. Nevertheless, before you judge, you must ask yourselves, who are the justices? What are their interests? Are they among the justices politicians visit in the night? What is their level of overseas travel before the judgment? And what would be the frequency after their judgment? Well, before the judgment, the slogan was, all eyes on judiciary. Now, after the judgment, the judiciary, which is part of the Nigerian hegemony, told to its root, that is, the financier, meaning the executive, headed by the President, Ahmed Tinubu. For new voters who are new in Nigerian manipulative system, they became disenchanted. However, research showed that Nigerian politicians of present generation are more dangerous than any set of politicians Nigeria had ever witnessed since its inception as British acclaimed independent state on October 1st, 1960. It is during the generation of present politicians that Nigeria has been designated as follows: one of the poorest countries in the world despite its rich mineral resources. 2. Nigeria is declared one of the corrupt countries in the world. 4. Where 80 to 90% of members of National Assembly or state executives have case files in Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The generation of politicians where high rate of unemployment is more than 41% in the country, where corruptions within the judiciary is widely known and talked about. Hence, few people have faith in the judiciary. These are according to Transparency International Index about Nigeria within the context of the world. All above are the handwork of present generations of politicians in Nigeria. Again, the Nigerian corruption rank is based on public sector activities, according to Transparent International. And this indeed was rejected by former Information Minister Lai Mohammed on the basis of thinking Nigeria is being intimidated. But what is the reality on the ground? However, in 2023 general election, the allegation of corruption has been witnessed by both Nigerians, Lai Mohammed, and the world at large through reports on 2023 concluded elections from various organizations that witnessed this particular election. But it appears Nigerian politicians are not aware how corruption ratings are carried out. And we will look at the factors that played out throughout the election petition. First, election factors. Some significant points to note are as follows. 1. 2023 election was organized by General Muhammadu Buhari, military president, Federal Republic of Nigeria, between 1983 to 1985, Federal Petroleum Commissioner between 1978 to 1979, Chairman, Petroleum Trust Fund, 1994 to 1999, President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2015 to 2023, whose corruption index, indeed, can be covered up by only Mr. Bola Tinubu and not Mr. Abubakar Atiku or Mr. Peter Obi. This is important to African leaders when they are choosing successors. They look out among the candidates who will cover up their corrupt government. It must be noted also that General Buhari appointed INEC senior officials with Professor Mahmoud Yakubu as the chairman of INEC. These INEC members must certainly be loyal to the president's party that appointed them, that is APC. Third, President Buhari appointed the Chief Justice of Nigerian Federation and subjected his confirmation through the Nigerian Rubber Stamp Senate in 2022 in preparation to hand over of power to another APC candidate. And finally, Nigerian Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court judges are also appointed by the President through the recommendations of the judicial body and the Chief Justice of the Federation. This concludes the first round for the preparation of the tribunal. The second point one has to note is the intimidation of General Buhari, former Nigerian president, by the current president, Mr. Bola Tinubu, as to support him. Well, Mr. Bola Tinubu intimidated General Buhari, reminded him of how he, Mr. Tinubu, installed him as APC presidential candidate and later APC president of Nigeria. When it appears Buhari was not willing to support him, he began his criticism, one of them being that Buhari's financial policy was a shambles, and this was openly criticized during his campaign rally at Calabar in Cross River State of Nigeria. It should be noted that whether Mr. Buhari is alive or dead, Mr. Tinubu has full knowledge and has the capacity and power to expose or protect General Buhari. Another factor that played out during this very general election and as well as the tribunal was ethnic alignment. 2023 general election was ceded to southeast of Nigeria, but was hijacked in the name of southern Nigeria for Tinubu to succeed Buhari. Some northern APC members, people like Mr. Wike, Governor Makinde, and Tinubu, Umahi, and the Uzodinma conspiracy changed the narrative. Then the presidential ticket was made open for southerners rather than southeast. Tinubu was able to buy over the whole system into his own pocket. This became a triangular factor. Nigerians overlook the danger of Nigerian three cardinal nations: the north that protects itself, southwest of Nigeria that protect itself, and the porosity of southeastern Nigeria, that is the southeast and the south-south, as it is divided, that do not protect itself with its neither here or there syndrome. But going back to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as Lagos area man, that is Department of Area Boys Group, Mr. Tinubu can do anything to actualize what he ceded to General Buhari in 2014. As a Nigerian and a Yoruba man, every Nigerian knows the antecedents of each tribe in terms of cunning, traditional, and the ritual belief. It is not unquestionable and surprising that strange events took place in tribunal courtroom. The traditional and magic factors manifested itself during the judgment in the courtroom. The questions to organizers are as follows. How did they do it? How would this play out? How would they overcome this? Nevertheless, the major election petition events and the expected problems were as follows. Before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judgment, evidences were presented, certified, and admitted by the sitting justices. It is widely known to those who understand the politics of Nigeria that the Nigerian government understood Nigerians and how ethnicity disfranchised opinion of Nigerians. These became enabling factors. The tribunal judges were fully assured of safety and protection with available security agencies before being mandated to pronounce the judgment. All these were to protect the presidency of Mr. Tinubu and also to ensure that the Igbo man will not be a president, or Mr. Obi will not be pronounced as the president of Nigeria. That is the significance of all these tricks and manipulations. Another major factor is how to paralyze the environment and hypnotize the audience. This led to the invitation of Mr. Asare Dokubo and their oracles. But before we go into that, we look at the presence and the interest of international players. It should be remembered that the European Union and the United States donated some amount of money to Nigerian election to protect their own interest. Nigerian election was adduced the worst election on earth. There were condemnations from both local and international observers, especially from European Union, which donated 39 million euros, and the United States of America, which donated $50 million. This put them on line to protect their interests and have say in Nigerian election and its outcome. Nevertheless, this group can be made to fall either on the side of Mr. Tinubu, as long as he is able to protect their interest, or to fall outside Tinubu if he does not protect their interest. Then we look at what transpired in the courtroom, sleeping in courtroom event. Ritual practices, hypnotic suggestions, and trends appeared to have taken place in the presidential judgment room on the 6th of September 2023. The presence of Asare Dokubo and his Ejo oracle displayed outside the courtroom. Hypnosis is a well-known ancient practice connected to magic and the rituals, which was completely redefined by the psychiatrist Milton Erickson, who was born in 1901 and died in 1980 as a clinical practitioner, that is, a psychiatric clinical practitioner. The question is, what does hypnotic trance means? This means a cognitive state which is characterized by focused attention resulting from both a reduced awareness of surrounding environment and a sharpened openness to accept suggestions. This was defined by Mamini in 2018 and again Gronene in 1989. In fact, it has been demonstrated that behavioral changes can be produced by means of metaphorical storytelling and teaching tales conveyed during hypnotic trance. This was exactly what the judges were doing. They were giving their judgment, during which the environment was gradually changing in the eyes of the audience and the lawyers that were in the courtroom. Then another question is, what are the hypnotic abilities? This is defined as an individual's ability to experience suggested alterations in physiology, sensations, emotions, thoughts, or behavior during hypnosis. Such powers and abilities include mind control, mental manipulation, telepathy, hypnotic vocal mind control, teleportation, illusion manipulation. These were also suffered by those lawyers and other members of audience in the courtroom on the 6th of September 2023. Another question is, what is the means of the transfer of this very particular power into the audience? The users can use direct eye contact to affect or directly influence and control other people's mind to their command. And this actually happened in the courtroom. Those who were in charge under reflective index and retraction was there manipulating the system through the visual part that controlled those who were sleeping, who have already gone into hypnosis. And the power used on them were the power of hypnotic vision. Therefore, self-hypnosis involves a person using relaxation methods and visualization to enter into a hypnotic state. The operators have to use a nearby object of similar tendency to reflect its power and visual power also into the system for onward telepathy and the transfer of energy they needed to actualize their operation. And that is what happened during the process. Therefore, those who are criticizing the lawyers for sleeping during the judgment should reflect on this very program and know if they were inside that hall, whether they will sleep or not. The audience and the lawyers did not know what happened. They could not fathom where they were until the pronouncement of the judgment, and would not be able by themselves to go against the decision of that voodoo judgment. What is the saving grace? The only saving grace was the absence of Mr. Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi in that very courtroom. Had they been there, they would have not been able to challenge that they want to go to Supreme Court. That is the effect, and that is the saving ground. Caution. To overcome this very voodooed judgment, the opposition should not toe the same system those who called in Asare Dokubo and their group around the court premises. Rather, they can toe a different route. They can call national prayers for those who are Christians, or those who are Muslims. They can also call within their party a prayer group that will pray against any of these type before they go to the Supreme Court and during the time of Supreme Court, to ensure that they will overcome the system that played out on 6th of September 2023. With this, we come to the end of this very program. We ask you to subscribe, share, and give us thumb up, and as well as leave your comment. Share to your loved ones. Everybody needs to know about this. Thank you.